Hello students, welcome to Don Bosco PU College Chitradurga, first PUC Biology Bridge course. In the bridge course, we discussed in the previous classes human physiology chapters. One is digestion and absorption. Second, breathing and exchange of gases. Third, body fluid and circulation. Now we are going to discuss one more chapter in physiology, human physiology called excretory products and their elimination. Excretory product and their elimination. Here, excretory products. The excretory products like ammonia, urea, uric acid, carbon dioxide, creatinine. These are the nitrogenous waste or excretory products. So these excretory products, how they are goes outside, how they are able to eliminate in our body. Before going to this, in this chapter we are going to discuss or study what is meant by excretory products, what is meant by excretion. Based on the excretory products, we classify the different type of animals, then different types of excretory organs in animals, human excretory system, then a human excretory system and structure of human excretory system, then structure of nephron, formation of urine, regulation of kidney function, micturition, role of other organs in excretion, disorder of excretory system. In the high school level, you studied the excretion, how the kidney perform the excretion process. What is the structure of kidney? What is the structure of nephron? In the nephron, how urine is formed. The same topic you also study. You are going to learn in the first PUC also. But in deeply you are going to study. Excretion, elimination of nitrogenous waste materials like ammonia, urea, uric acid is called excretion. Okay. Based on the type of nitrogenous waste materials are excreted, the animals are classified into three groups. One is ammonotellic animals. Second, ureotellic animals. Third, uricotellic animals. First one, ammonotellic animals. The animals which excrete ammonia as nitrogenous waste are called ammonotellic animals. Ammonia is highly toxic and soluble in water. The elimination of ammonia requires large amount of water. The best example for ammonotellic animals are all aquatic invertebrates, bony fishes, tadpole larvae of frog, etc. The second one, ureotellic animals. The animals which excrete urea as nitrogenous waste are called ureotellic animals. In man, urea is produced in the liver by the process called ornithine cycle. Urea is a less toxic but soluble in water. The elimination of urea requires moderate amount of water. The best examples are cartilaginous fishes, frogs, and then mammals, etc. The third one, uricotellic animals. The animals which excrete uric acid as nitrogenous waste are called uricotellic animals. The elimination of uric acid requires less amount of water. Examples, reptiles and birds. So the reptiles and birds release the digested as well as nitrogenous waste both in combined form. Then the excretion process is taken place in a system called excretory system. The excretory system consists different type organs in different type of animals. Let us study one by one. In most of the invertebrates, The excretory organs are simple, that is in the tubular forms. The vertebrates have complex tubular organs like kidney. Kidney perform the excretion process. The protonephridia or frame cells perform excretory organs or excretory function in Platyhelminthe group of animals. In Annelida, cephalopods, also we are going to see in protonephridia as a osmoregulatory as well as a excretory function. Then earthworms of annelids, we are going to see in nephridia or the excretory organs. The insects, in most of the insects, the Malpighian tubules are the excretory organs. Then antennal glands or green glands, these are the special type of organs which act as a excretory organs, especially in crustaceans like prawns. When come to the human excretory system consists a pair of kidney, ureters, urinary bladder, then a urethra. One is a pair of kidney, ureter, urinary bladder, then urethra. Kidneys are reddish brown bean shaped structure. These kidneys situated at the last thoracic and third lumbar vertebra close to the dorsal inner wall of the abdominal cavity. Each kidney measures 10 to 12 centimeter in length. Width is 2 to 3 centimeter. The length is 10 to 12 centimeter and the width is 2 to 3 centimeter, 5 to 7 centimeter. Then the thickness is 2 to 3 centimeter. The kidneys are weighs about 120 to 170 grams in adults. Then when come to the structure of human excretory system. The two kidneys situated in the abdominal cavity. The kidneys are bean seed shaped structure. At the middle of the region there is a one depression. That depression we call as a hilus or hilum. In that hilus or hilum the three ducts are enter. This is the hilus. The three ducts are enter. One is called as a renal artery, a renal vein and ureter. Renal artery carries the pure blood. Renal vein carries the impure blood and ureter carries the urine. Then the outer layer of kidney is enclosed by a tough capsule called as a renal capsule. Inside the kidney there are two zones are there. One is called outer is called as a cortex and inner is called as a medulla. Then inside the kidney the blood which contains the nitrogenous waste are able to filtered or separated. The separated nitrogenous waste are become urine. That urine is passed through ureter and settle in the urinary bladder. Urinary bladder is a storehouse of urine for some duration. The urinary bladder having a one opening called as a urethra. By this opening the urine goes outside. Then inside the kidney, how the nitrogenous waste are able to separate? How the kidney able to filter the nitrogenous waste from the blood? When we are going to know about this question, we are going to study a sectional view, a cross section of the kidney. LS, longitudinal section of kidney. When we cut the longitudinal section, the inside the kidney, the structure is revealed in this manner. So we know that the kidney is externally covered by a connective tissue membrane called as nothing but the renal capsule. Inside the kidney, there are two regions are there: outer cortex and inner medulla. Inner medulla. Then in the medulla, there is a presence of a pyramid-like structure which are arranged seriously. Those were called as a renal pyramid. The tip of the renal pyramid is called as a renal apex. Between the renal pyramid, there is a space is filled with a special type of structure called as columns of Bertani. The function is unknown. The tip of the pyramid, nothing but the apex, the pyramid, renal apex. Here there is one structure is continuously joined each and every apex region and to form as a renal calyx. That renal calyx is able to open a one region called as a renal pelvis. Renal pelvis. The renal pelvis is able to connect it to the ureter. Ureter. Okay. So this is the internal structure of kidney. In this internal structure, which are the structure able to filter the urine? Nothing but in the cortex, especially when come to the medulla region, there is a presence of structural and functional units of excretory system or kidney called as a nothing but nephron. Called as a nephron. Those nephrons able to filter the urine from the blood or nitrogenous waste from the blood. Waste from the blood. Okay. So the nephrons are the structural and functional units. The nephrons are the few nephrons are found in the cortex region. Those we are called as a cortical nephron, and some of the nephron found at the junction of the cortex and medulla are called as a juxtamedullary nephron. Juxtamedullary nephron. Okay. So this is about a human structure of human excretory system and longitudinal section of a kidney. When we are move on to a structure of nephron. Structure of nephron. The next structure of nephron consists first a renal capsule or Malpighian capsule, then proximal convoluted tubule, then U-shaped structure called as a loop of Henle, then distal convoluted tubule, finally collecting duct. So the nephron consists of cup or bowl shaped structure called as a Bowman's capsule. Bowman's capsule, composed of two layers modified squamous epithelial cells called podocytes. The network of capillaries in Bowman's capsules are called glomerulus. The Bowman's capsule and glomerulus togetherly called as a Malpighian capsule or corpuscles. A branch of renal artery that enters into Bowman's capsule is called afferent renal arteriole, and the artery that leaves the glomerulus is called efferent renal arteriole. Then next, the Bowman's capsule and glomerulus togetherly called as a Malpighian corpuscle. The Bowman capsule is continued as a coiled tube-like structure called as a proximal convoluted tubule. Proximal convoluted tubule. The proximal convoluted tubule is coiled in structure, internally lined by modified cuboidal epithelial cells. which having a microvilli. They are called brush border cells. Brush border cell. The proximal convoluted tubule, the major function is nothing but the reabsorption of essential material from the urine. Here one thing is the glomerulus major function is filtration of urine from the blood. The proximal convoluted tubule, the major function is reabsorption of essential material from the urine. Then is the loop of Henle. So next is the loop of Henle. It is a narrow U-shaped tube connecting proximal convoluted tubule and distal convoluted tubule. It has descending and ascending limbs which are important in concentration of urine. Okay. Next, the third one is called as a distal convoluted tubule. It is similar to that of proximal convoluted tubule but less coiled, lined by cuboidal epithelium. At the end, it connects to the collecting duct. The distal convoluted tubule, the major function is secretion of some essential materials to the urine to maintain the concentration of urine. Apart from this one more structure is there called as a peritubular capillaries. Before going to that, what the collecting duct is there? It is a common duct. The collecting duct able to collect the urine from the each and every nephron and finally send it to the renal pelvis. The renal pelvis connected to the ureter, then the ureter carries the urine and settles in the urinary bladder. Next, apart from this thing, one structure is there called as a peritubular capillaries. The efferent renal arteriole that leaves glomerulus do not join renal vein. Instead, it forms second set of blood capillaries around the proximal convoluted tubule and distal convoluted tubule, forming a one capillary is called as a peritubular capillary. The blood capillaries around the loop of Henle are called as a vasa ricta. Vasa ricta. A minute vessels of vein around the loop of Henle is called as a vasa ricta. Then, what is the function of urine? So, what is the function of nephron? The nephron major function is formation of urine, removal of nitrogenous waste and removal of nitrogenous waste. So, how the nephron perform the formation of urine? The formation of urine is in 3 steps. One is ultrafiltration or glomerular filtration. Second one is a tubular reabsorption. Third one, tubular secretion. Tubular secretion. In these 3 steps, completely the urine is formed. When the urine is formed, the nitrogenous waste are isolated from the blood. So this is the structure of nephron. So in the excretory system, the kidneys are major organ, perform the excretion process. Inside the kidney, the number of structural and functional unit called as nephrons. The nephrons are responsible to filter the urine from the blood, separate the nitrogenous waste from the blood. So that we call as a nephrons are structural unit. It gives a structure to the kidney, and functional unit because it performs the excretion process exactly, removes the nitrogenous waste. So in the next class, we are going to study how the nephron perform a formation of urine through 3 steps like ultrafiltration, tubular reabsorption, tubular secretion. Apart from this one, how the nephron is perform or maintains the concentration of urine. The normal person urine is a slightly acidic or concentrated, how it is maintained. Okay, that we are going to study it in the next class. Thank you.